The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply. USAA.
Hilton brings you new ways to stay. With experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to the Coaching Youth Hoops Podcast.
They're playing
Basketball. Here's our hosts, Steve Collins. And Bill Flitter.
All right, welcome to Coaching Youth Hoops.
Coach, how are you?
Excellent. Looking forward to next basketball season already.
I bet you are.
Yeah.
You had a tough season this year. So
I had a tough season with my dad passing, and
you had a lot of family, a lot of injuries on the team.
Yeah,
right? So you had a heavy load. So
six of my 15 were out at some point, I think, and and my dad got sick and worrying about my mom, and so I'm ready to put that in the past, and it's gonna be hard though to know when to be done. I think I've got a couple years left, but
to be done coaching.
Well, I don't know if I don't plan on keeling over, but not done, but yeah.
No, I didn't done as in done. I thought you meant in the season, like because the seasons are kind of they run into each other.
No.
Like
No, it's like
I
think you kind of know, like I can kind of feel it creeping up on.
Maybe you'll go back to youth coaching again.
No, I think when I'm done, I'm done. I think I'm done. I've been doing it since I was 22.
Yeah, it's a long time. Yeah.
So it's like, it's just when you see those kids in that locker room after the season, it's like, oh my God. But there's always another group. I keep telling myself at some point, you just got to pull the Band-Aid off and be done.
Yeah, no, that's probably true.
I don't want to be 70. I mean, I still relate to them. I don't want to be that 75-year-old coach, just don't. Anyway. All right. So leading into that,
coaching etiquette. Yeah. And
here's a story with this. First game of the season, I had 4 of my starters out. 4.
Okay.
And I had 7 guys not suited. 7 not suited.
Whoa.
Between injuries, some injuries, an illness, and ineligibility. So I suited 8 guys for a varsity game. 2 of them were playing by the end of the season. Either they weren't, like the rest of them were moved down the pecking order. There were 2 that were playing in the regional semifinal game. And this is leading into the coach etiquette. So we did fine early in that game, and then all of a sudden we got down like 25. And I don't have anybody. I have 8 guys.
Right.
And he's still pressing me.
You're down
like 25-30. We're just getting our butts kicked. And we're Memorial, and we have a reputation in the state, and we've been one of the most successful programs.
That's why he's doing that.
It is. And then so I go, what do you? I look down with him on a minute. I go, what are you doing? Yeah. Like, have you seen who I'm playing? And you can see the guys that aren't suited or hurt or whatever. And he turns to me and he goes, "This is just what we do." I go, "What are you talking about? You haven't subbed. Like, you can do it if you put your subs in." And my subs are started.
Yeah. Right.
So it's like, this is what we do. It's like, ooh, karma's not it. That's this. Ooh,
Yeah, that's not what you do.
ooh.
And if
It's
you
just not
do
what
do
you do.
that, then you're, period, right?
You just
That's what
don't do
yeah.
that.
You
And it's
just
like,
don't do that.
trust me, I've had teams that could beat people by 70 and I didn't do it to them.
Exactly. You
I
just
just
don't do
pulled off.
those
You just
things,
don't,
right?
you sub. So I
And why
didn't
is that
say any,
getting lost though?
I don't know why it's
Even at
getting
the
lost.
youth level, it's like they're especially at they're kids.
They're kids.
They're kids. I mean, I know high school players technically are still kids, but okay, they can handle it more than a third through eighth grader
Right.
can, right? I had a perfect example yesterday too, or yesterday's tournament where I had to pull off the horses. I mean, I knew this other team, we were much better than the other team, right? And, one of my girls said, "Should we press?" And I'm like, heck no, right?
Right.
Like, get back. Do you still play half court defense? Absolutely 100%. You play half court defense and go, right? Even the ref, again, this was a youth AAU game. Even the ref said, "Look, I can't call every travel on the other team." Right. This is fifth, sixth grade. And I'm like,
Right.
dude, I get it. I'm not concerned about it. Right. Like, I totally get why you can't do that. If I had, I did everything possible. Hey, make sure we're working on the offense. Everybody's got to touch the ball, right? Before you. But then earlier in that same day, it was the reverse. My third grade team was playing against a team that had some fifth and sixth graders on it. Why they were in the third grade division with fifth and sixth graders on it, the size and ability difference at that age. And I think I spoke to this on one of the previous podcasts. We had a fifth grader shooting threes, and she shot two of them, and they were up. I think we scored 4 points against them, right? And they're trapping up on the top still throughout the whole game. They're shooting threes, and he keeps those fifth and sixth graders in versus playing his third and fourth graders. I'm like, what are you trying to prove? Like, what's your
end game?
Yeah, what's your end game here? And the ref asked me, he says, "Do you want me to turn off the scoreboard?" I said, "Absolutely not."
Right.
No, like, because I'm like, well, I turn off the scoreboard. Let him, we have to learn a lesson as well.
Right.
Right. And I want to say, how does this make
and the problem is emotions tend to run high in these kind of situations.
Yeah. Well, I did the same thing. I'm like, do I look down at the coach and say, "Dude, what are you doing?" Like,
I just had to. It was the first game of the season. Anyway, so I didn't say anything to him, shook hands, didn't say anything to him.
Yeah.
As a elderly coach,
mm-hmm.
now that the season's over and it's been 5 months,
yeah,
probably going to send him a little note.
Oh,
say, hey, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, hey, let me just explain this and let me explain why I said that. Yeah. And I mean, his season was not very good. If that was the first game of the season, you obviously had to see that I wasn't playing guys. Whatever. As an elderly statesman, you're not going to get very far in, because everything comes back to.
Never comes back. Yeah.
So I'm not mad. I'm just saying I haven't quite worked out what I want to say yet, but it's going to be like, it might be what you do, but that's not what you do to people.
Exactly.
Just don't do that to people.
Yeah.
And if people in their league do that to you, they're wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what's the cutoff in that particular situation? I always the rule of thumb was 25. 25, 20 to 25. You're up 20 to 25.
I actually would have actually had no problem with him pressing us if he didn't have his starters in.
Oh, yeah.
Or is like the guys that, like, you put your 5 next guys in, you're up, that's who I have. So again, I think that all these etiquette things are there's some minutia with it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was going to say that, so for example, too, is, it goes in reverse. So let's say a coach does show you mercy. They're
Right.
up 25, 30 points. They show you mercy. He does put his subs in, but
Yep.
your starters are still in.
Yep.
Right?
So
Do you press his starter? I mean, do you press his subs?
No, I don't. As soon as someone pulls off the dogs, as long as I've done the math on it, then I put my subs in. It's kind of like you have to wave the white flag before and I couldn't in that game. I couldn't wave the white flag because I had 8
Right.
guys.
I mean, yeah.
So it's like I couldn't put anybody else in. There was no one else to put in.
Yeah.
So that's part of it. Is I think part of that etiquette is game's over. I'm gonna sub. Like that happened in our first regional game. It's like he was down, he subbed, I subbed. There's a minute left. It's tournament game. I'm not going to sub until the very end. But it was over at that point. So I think that's the issue is like, what do we do with that? And I think there's etiquette on all the things, how you talk to officials. I think there's etiquette on, how you interact with the other coach, how you interact with the crowds, how you interact with your kids. All those fall under. I mean, I think we could do a month series on etiquette.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times I catch myself too at the huddle when everybody's slapping hands, fist bumping at the end of the line. If I catch something that I did, I will go up to the coach and say, two things happened. One was we were up in this, kids young players,
right?
Sometimes they get over anxious and they'll press and you're up 25 points, right?
Right.
That was game one. And I said, look, I was trying to back her off. I told her, look, we're up, and that wasn't, we had a conversation about it. So I'll say stuff like that. Or in youth tournaments, a lot of times you don't have the big scoreboard. You have those ones that are sitting on the table, and they're next to you versus across from you, so you can't see it. And I call a timeout, and there's literally 5 seconds on the clock, and and we were up big because I was calling a timeout to tell the girls to do something that I wanted them to work on.
Right.
And in my head, I thought we had a lot more time left, and I apologize to the coach. I'm like, I didn't realize how much time was left at the end. I wouldn't have called a timeout with 5
seconds to go.
5 seconds on the clock, and he would laugh and he goes, "I didn't even catch it." I'm like, I know, but so it's like
feel bad.
We're a community helping. We should be supporting one another. We should realize who we're coaching. Youth players that are learning the game. They're learning how to be people. They're learning how to respect one another, right? There's so many life lessons in basketball and we're the teachers. We have to set the example.
Right. We have to show them.
Yeah, we have to show them what etiquette means. Like, I'll even tell my players, we'll be at an AAU game and the bench is what's underneath the bench. The 1,000 water bottles from the teams that played before us. I'm like, clean it up. Right. We always leave
things better than we found them. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It just teaches them as well to take care of the space and respect it and fist bump the refs after, right? The table even. I mean, all of that stuff is all part of the game and teaching them etiquette and proper behavior.
It's routines, it's rituals, it's things that you want to do. All right. Anything else, Coach?
Yeah, coaches, head over to coachingyouthhoops.com. We have an entire season of practice plans all ready for you to print and go, as well as offenses, defenses, lots of handouts and things to help you on your coaching journey, coachingyouthhoops.com.
Yep, and go over and check our Facebook group too, Coaching Youth Hoops Facebook group. That's where we get most of our topics from.
Yeah, so good questions over there.
You never know what we'll talk about. Maybe we'll talk about Roth IRAs next week. Okay. Anyway. All right. Have a good week, Coach.
All right. Take care.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Stop by by Sherwin-Williams and get 30% off select paints and stains May 2nd through the 12th. It's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Refresh your home inside and out with colors that make every space feel brand new. From cozy interiors to stunning exteriors, we've got the perfect shade for your next project. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Click the banner to learn more. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.